see. I think the next day we got more gelato. We got gelato like every day we were there, and pizza the entire time we were in Italy. That was just about every meal was pizza, because that's about all they sell there is pizza or pasta, and pasta is really expensive over there. So yeah. Then we went to Venice, and while we were at the train station, I went to get coffee again at a McDonald's there, and these two girls were there, and they were Americans, and they're like, we want the dollar menu. The dollar menu that's equivalent to the euro. And this lady is just, like, staring at her because she doesn't know English. And I'm just like, dude, what are you doing? Like, you can't order something like that. So that was just really funny to watch these girls. They just kept saying, like, dollar menu. And the lady's like, I don't know what she's talking about. So it was really, really funny. I kept laughing at them. And then when we got on one of our trains, I found a lady's purse on the ground. Like, we passed it as we were getting on, and we were gonna just, like, leave it there, and then I was like, well, maybe I'll just, like, take it up to the conductor of the train or something, I don't know. So I get on, and I have it in my hand, and then all of a sudden some lady rips it out of my hand as we're on the train, and she's, like, glaring at me, and it was her purse, and I think she thought that I took it, and, like, I don't speak Italian, so I didn't really know how to tell her that I found it outside. And so I'm just, like, looking at her, and I'm like, outside, and I couldn't think of the word outside in Spanish even, because Spanish and Italian are really close, a lot of the words. And finally I remembered the word for outside, and I'm just like, afuera, and she's, like, smiling, and, like, madre mia, and, like, yelling all this stuff. She's, like, so excited I found her purse, and, like, gives me, like, a tap on the back. And so, I don't know, it was just really funny, like, the communication problems, but we figured out what we were trying to say, and she got her purse back, so I was happy she got it back, and I don't ever want to do that again, because I was really scared when she ripped it out of my hand. In Venice, we slept in cabins. They weren't really cabins, they were more like portable houses, like, they had wheels and everything. But it was a lot more, like, I felt a lot better being in there than I did in the tents. And we had heat. In Florence, we didn't have any heat, so we froze, like, every night. We all had, like, 3 or 4 blankets on top of us, and we woke up, like, freezing, and you could, like, see your breath and everything. It was so cold. But yeah, it was a lot warmer there. And we've been wanting fettuccine alfredo the entire time we were in Italy, and we couldn't find it anywhere. And we found this one restaurant, and we were like, well, maybe we should just ask. Maybe it's called something different in Italian. So the guy kind of knew some English, and he's like, oh, what do you guys want? What do you guys want? And we were like, well, we want Alfredo. So he starts, like, unzipping his coat, and apparently his name is Alfredo, so it was just really funny. And he's like, well, I don't have that, but I'm Alfredo. And, like, it was just funny. But we didn't end up getting it the whole time we were there, because we couldn't find it anywhere, which is really weird, because I would have thought Italy would have had it of all places, but they didn't. The buses in Italy are absolutely insane. Like, they're so unorganized, and, like, you have to buy a ticket before you get on the bus, but, like, they don't check your tickets. I don't know, it's just really, really weird. But anyhow, on the bus, one of the bus rides, Beth almost got, like, injured by this guy. He had, like, 2 or 3 backpacks on his back, and he's, like, trying to push through the line of people on the bus. And Beth's, like, falling over, has a box of pizza in her hand that we were taking back, and she's, like, getting slammed into the wall, and then he sees her, and he apologizes. And then some British lady was on the bus and asked us if we knew where this one road was, and we're like, sorry, we have no idea. And then she's trying to ask some lady in Italian, but she's asking her in English. So the lady, like, doesn't know what she's talking about. So the British lady, like, yells out the road that she's looking for, just, like, yells it in front of everybody, and everybody just, like, laughs at her. And then finally that lady that she had been asking figured out what she was saying, and she was trying to tell her to go ask the bus driver. But she's, like, doesn't know English, so she's standing there, like, doing the driving motion, and, like, I'm like, conductor of the bus, and she's like, yeah, si, like, so we figured out that's what she was trying to tell this British lady, so she had to go up and ask the bus driver. And then when it came to her stop, she, like, yelled out to her husband, like, Tom, it's time to get off. Like, it was just a crazy bus ride. There were so many people on it. Everybody was standing against the windows, like, it was completely squished, and that's almost how every bus ride was. There's just so many people on them there. But we made it safe there and everything like that. The next day we went back to Venice, and we rode in a gondola, which are actually really expensive, but he knocked the price down a little bit for us, and you split it between the 4 of us, so it wasn't too bad. But we got to do that. I was kind of disappointed because our guy didn't have his hat on, and I really wanted him to be wearing his hat. And then he, like, was on his cell phone the whole time, and, like, was wearing these sunglasses. He looked like a Harley Davidson motorcycle rider, and I wasn't very happy. I mean, those are sweet, but I'm in Italy and I want to see a gondola driver guy. I don't even know what they're called, and it's really bugging me because I can't figure it out. But yeah, so that was that. It was really cool. We went to a few islands while we were there. The first one was called Verona, I think, and it had, like, every house was just, like, colorful. Like, that's all everything was. Like, everything, one house was blue, one house was pink, one house was yellow. Like, each house was like that. And, like, it didn't even look real. It looked like doll houses or something, but it was really cool. And then we went to another island. I don't remember what it's called, but it has glass blowing on it. Venice is really popular for glass. So we went there, and yeah, we bought some glass stuff. And then we went to one more island called Lido, and it's just like a chill out island. There's really not a whole lot to do there, but it was really relaxing and really pretty. We watched the sunset and stuff. Then we had to take like 5 million boats to get back to the island of Venice, because like certain boats were like shut down and everything, like just because of the timing. So like we're going from boat to boat to boat. It was just ridiculous. And I had to pee for like over an hour. And in Italy, there's either no bathrooms or you have to pay for the bathroom, like 90 cents or something. Well, we couldn't find a bathroom anywhere. They were all like locked or closed, even the ones you had to pay for. So we get off our one bus to get onto our last bus to go home. I couldn't hold it anymore, and I'm like running around like a crazy person trying to find a bathroom. We found a McDonald's even, but there was no bathroom. I could not find it. I was like freaking out. So end up peeing my pants in Italy, and then I cry because that's what I do. And it was so embarrassing, but I just had to go so bad and I couldn't hold it any longer. So that was that night. That was a really dumb night. That was that night. Then the next day we got up and had to take a train back to Rome, because that's where we were flying out of. And we had McDonald's, and I was so excited. That's the first time I had McDonald's food the whole time that I've been over here. When I was in the States, I didn't even like want McDonald's, but since I've been here, I've really, really wanted it, and we had McDonald's. And some guy came up to us and was just like trying to talk to us, and it was a really awkward moment because he just like came up while we were sitting there eating, and like we didn't want to talk to him, so we just kind of pretended like we didn't understand him. And you might say that's rude, but when you're just like 4 girls just sitting there and some guy comes up talking to you at a train station really late at night, we were just like, okay. So he's like, do you speak English? And we just like kept staring at him, and then he's like, French? We keep staring at him, and then he's like pointing to his tongue and like trying to ask us what language we speak, and we're like trying not to laugh because we can understand everything he's saying. We're just pretending we can't because he was freaking us out. And then finally he like left, and then we just lost it and all busted up laughing, and it was like the strangest moment I've ever had. But yeah. Then we had to take a night train over to some other station, which ended up like everything was closed there too. So then we were just stuck at this other station, and we were gonna take the bus, and we couldn't take the bus to the airport. Like nothing was running because it was so late. So we run into these 2 Spanish girls who were like, how are you guys getting to the airport? And we're like, we have no idea. We thought about walking, but it's a really far walk. But they ended up calling a cab for us, so we rode in the cab with them and got totally ripped off. It was really expensive. But then we got to the airport was closed, and we were like, well, what are we supposed to do? Well, then we found a door open, so we stayed the night in the airport. And this was the night of Easter. This was Saturday night to Sunday. And so yeah, I woke up Easter morning at an airport, and it was cold and the floor was really hard, but I was indoors. Yeah, and then that morning then we headed home and didn't really sleep at all until yesterday afternoon. I slept. But yeah, that was my spring break. It was really crazy and really tiring, and all I ate was pizza, but it was definitely worth it, and it's kind of sweet to say you were in Italy for Easter. So yeah, so that was this past week. So I will see you guys next week.